everyone has a different perspective based on their knowledge base.
Yes.
So you're walking around looking at things in a completely different way to what I might be, and to what everyone else might be.
Yes. No, I understand exactly what you mean. So when I'm an engineer, I'm wired like an engineer. I did my first degree, master's,
Wired is a good
PhD.
choice of
Yeah,
words as
exactly.
well.
I'm wired like an engineer. I think like an engineer. And sometimes, obviously, engineers are the best people in the world, as we all know. And I'm not biased, but but I'm joking, obviously. But sometimes I struggle with certain things. And I remember I eventually had the opportunity to do an MBA, Masters in Business Administration. Obviously, when it came to finance, I was the best in class, numbers and stuff like that. It was really easy. And for me, and some of the people there who were from different backgrounds were struggling a little bit more. But then it reached a unit called, and that's what you're saying about change. It was called Leadership and Change, which became the most important module I did. At the beginning, I couldn't understand it. And my first coursework, I failed. I got 45%, which at master's level is a fail. And that was what happened. So I went to the lecturer and I wanted an explanation. I don't understand. Well, I got this. I think I did a very good job. So the job was to do volunteering work at a museum in a group. And we had to talk about it. So as an engineer, I did everything like an engineer. This was the group. We had these tasks to do. And then we had to so basically we had to inventorize stuff that was in a shed, stuff like that. So this person was responsible for this task. I was responsible for that task. Everything very descriptive. I go to the lecture and yeah, of course. So first question, why did you join into this group? Well, because it was just the people I was working with, and I get along with them. And well, I didn't mention anything on that. Why would I mention that? Why are you writing in the third person? So we engineers, we write in the third person passive voice. So instead of saying, I went to I did this experiment, I say, the experiment was done.
I see.
I always write like that.
Right.
But you
take the person out of the thing.
Yeah. So no, this was a reflective piece of writing. We wanted it to write in the first person, which for me was like, first person. There you go. I go. Well, here you say that this person took the leadership because it was on Leadership and Change of this task. Yeah. What did you feel about that? I go, what did I feel? What do you mean feel? Yeah. What emotionally? Emotion. This is a report. I should have no emotions. Then I understood that in social sciences, things are a lot different, and they can be very important as well. That you have these reflections, which I knew nothing about, even after having a PhD. And I realized that being constrained to that box, that world of engineering, where I only deal with engineers and think like an engineer, is actually limiting me quite a lot in terms of the way I see things and perceive things. And then I managed to change. And on another coursework, I managed to get 75%. And I took a completely different attitude and approach to that, and I struggled to reach to that point, and it wasn't easy for me to write that piece of work. The way I wrote it was very, very, very hard.
Did that transform you in your everyday life as well? Did it encourage you to think differently or
a lot
or feel
a lot? I don't know if I managed to succeed in that, but at least I'm aware. I have that awareness.
I mean, to me, you come across as a very expressive and kind of, it seems to me you have easy access to your emotions.
Yeah.
So maybe that was part of the learning curve for you to get to that point. But, when you think of an engineer or a mathematician, you think, quite rigid and shy, but you don't seem like that whatsoever. So
no, yeah. So I think, as I said, I think this unit I had, Leadership and Change, in that MBA, was definitely, now that I look back, was the one that had the greatest impact in me as a person. And I couldn't understand initially. At first I thought, you can't teach leadership, change. So that was the attitude I had at the beginning. Oh boy, I'm going to wishy-washy stuff. I'm going to, and in the end, it was the one that had the most meaning, and that's because I changed, and I could only get that a little bit later. It's a process, I think it was really important for me. I tried to put that into practice every day and with my life as well, but I don't know if I succeed.